The U.S. Ambassador at Large for Global Criminal Justice at the State Department, Her Excellency Beth Van Schaack, paid her second visit to the Gambia in many months. She was accompanied to the State House by the U.S. Ambassador in the Gambia, Her Excellency Sharon L. Cromer, and the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Momodou Jallow. She met the President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, behind closed doors. Speaking to GRTS after her audience with the President, Ambassador Van Schaack praised what she called the remarkable progress made in transitional justice in terms of implementing all the recommendations of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission. She credited the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Momodou Jallow, for spearheading the process and hailed the launching of a joint task force with ECOWAS to establish a hybrid court to try crimes committed during the reign of former President Yahya Jammeh.
Forward. I was honored to participate in the launch of the task force, the joint task force with ECOWAS, to establish a hybrid court. This will be a court that has international elements and expertise to help prosecute some of the international crimes that were committed during the Jammeh-era. But working in parallel, there will also be a special chamber within the High Court that can also hear some cases, and a special prosecutor, again, with international expertise and assistance, helping to determine where cases should go.
Ambassador Van Schaack expressed excitement with the new developments and expressed optimism that justice will finally be delivered for the victims after years of waiting, and commended all stakeholders for the work to set up the institutions, which she said are working on multiple tracks and will involve reparations for victims of serious human rights abuses, their children and families.
My understanding is that the task force has given itself about a month to finalize what will be essentially a treaty with ECOWAS. That would then need to be ratified by the different ECOWAS member states. In the meantime, however, the Special Prosecutor's Office can be established, and that group can start to investigate and create dossiers on particular perpetrators. Those dossiers will then be ready for when the tribunal is set up. But in the meantime, some of the cases could go to the national side and be adjudicated there.
Ambassador Van Schaack reassured that the U.S. will support the process through a rewards program, but advised the government to set up a tracking team to ensure that fugitives do not flee from justice.
We have a rewards program that's able to pay rewards for information leading to the arrest, capture, or transfer of individuals who stand accused of crimes against humanity. So if there are individual fugitives who are at large in the Gambia or in the region or even farther afield, we can issue a reward for information that would help bring those perpetrators into custody. I also would recommend that the Ministry of Justice put together a tracking team, because as we start to see developments in the creation of these justice institutions, you can imagine those perpetrators getting a little bit nervous that that next knock on the door may in fact be law enforcement ready to commence proceedings. And so it will be very important to keep track of those guys so that if they do try and flee, you know where they are and you can find them when the time comes.
Ambassador Van Schaack will now continue engagements with the Justice Ministry to move the process forward. And this meeting underscores the joint commitment of all stakeholders to finally close a chapter on what had been a difficult 22 years for the Gambia. Momodou Jallow, GRTS News.